Welcome to the webinar. This is a practical demonstration for the use of the features and functions of MFSQL Connector. For those that I have not yet met, I'm Larus from Laminate Solutions. I'm the person that has originally put the connector together and have done many implementations with it. We currently have we have more than 10 customers that is either have gone live or is in the process of going live, and people are starting to have some real benefit from the connector. This is a part of a series that we are putting together to demonstrate the use of the connector. So you can also find our other webinars on our website when you log on to the website. Just in terms of what we will be covering, first of all, as we will, I'm going to catch up on MFSQL Connector, and then I will give you a little bit of background just in terms of where I'm starting and where I'm picking the process up. But by and large, this is about a very practical session, hands-on session to actually take you through the functionality. And when I'm done with that, and it's probably just going to be about 10 to or 5 to the hour that I will complete, I will just pick up on a couple of next steps, how to contact us, and provide some opportunity for questions. So just briefly, what is the connector? In essence, it is connecting the MFile server with a SQL server using the connector which wraps the MFiles APIs so that you can actually connect the MFiles with SQL in a synchronization both ways. So basically that puts you in a position where you can do more with your metadata that is in MFiles. You can use the power of SQL to interact with MFiles, and you don't need to do any coding with using the APIs to deal with integrations and to work with it because it's already been done. We've basically taken the APIs, wrapped them together into assemblies, which is in SQL, which gives you the power of the connector to work with it. So the question is, why would you use the connector? Well, in the first place, it was built with the SQL developer or the SQL user in mind. You do not need to have any .NET programming or MFiles API knowledge to actually run the connector. When a third-party application is used, such that is using SQL Server or is capable of interacting with a SQL Server, then MFSQL Connector really comes to its own in the sense that that is the reason why it was actually put together, so that you can do multiple applications using the same base and the same framework to actually develop and work with those applications. It is also very useful when you want to do data alignment, whether it's cleaning of data or moving data from one place to another, because you can actually get the data from MFiles. You can then use the power of SQL to work through it, and then you can basically put it back into MFiles, and that creates a platform that is very, very powerful to actually use. When just because the metadata is in SQL, you can use it for reporting, especially when there is data which is outside of MFiles that is involved in the reporting that you want to integrate with your report. So it's also a very powerful reporting framework that you can use. And then we've also found that where you're starting with an integration that maybe starts small and you only have a few things that you want to do, but you know that you're going to expand it into different use cases, then it is a very powerful framework to work with because you can use it in so many different ways, and it gives you the power to extend it and to take it further. However, if you are simply looking at a simple data import from an external data source, and it's simple, straightforward. You just have a view or a database at the back end of it, then you can absolutely use the standard MFiles ODBC external connector. It's very powerful and it can do a lot, and the MFSQL connector is really designed to take that ODBC external connector further in many other dimensions that ODBC will actually start to run out of steam. Maybe the best way to say what it is about is to give you a chance to digest what Christina from Kefren and Trev from DocSmart have said about it. They are two of the users, that is resellers, that is currently using MFiles. In the case of Christina, I'll give you a chance to read it quickly. They have used it to integrate with Navision, and Trev and his team has actually used it in several client applications that they are using. So they are using it in very different ways as an example of what is being done with a connector. I would like to talk a little bit about the installation, because the connector itself consists of a number of parts. From a SQL perspective, it has SQL tables, it views procedures, functions, assemblies. It is in fact a whole framework inside of SQL that is being implemented and deployed. It also includes a Vault application, a UI extensibility. It has a content package that is installed that installs specific settings into MFiles, and it also have a web application on top of it that allows you to, on top of the database, to allow it to explore the tables in the database. So it has many different parts, and we have packaged those different parts in 3 functional modules, into a data exchange module, a developer module, and a context menu module, each serving a different purpose of functionality for different aspects. You can read more about it on the functional analysis on our guide on the web, where we actually put that into detail. Also, these 3 modules now is being deployed using 3 installation packages. So you can download the software from the website, and there's also a form that you can fill in to get the serial number for the software. But it comes into 3 different packages, and each one of those packages are designed to effectively be implemented on the servers that it is targeting. So it's targeting 3 servers: SQL Server, MFiles Server, Web Server. Now, your environment may actually combine some of those into 1 or maybe 2 boxes, but you basically would then install those packages onto the server that it is meant to be. So that is how basically the whole installation is being put together. And just before we start with a practical session, I just want to put that into perspective, that we are using the MFiles demo environment with a sample vault, and it is still on a SQL 2008. I just want to confirm that the connector can actually run into 2012, 14, 16. It has been already deployed in all of those environments. We will use the latest MFSQL Connector version, which is version 37, which is currently available for download. I will mainly use SQL Server Management Studio to run the examples and to show you the examples. I'm not going to basically focus on the context menu or on the website at this stage. So we will use the SQL Server Management Studio. I've pre-typed some of the scripts so that it's easier and avoids lots of retyping. We will make all of the scripts available, so you will be able to get those scripts. When I thought about today, I pitched it to a person that has a basic SQL knowledge, And obviously, I expect that people will know something about M files and have just some familiarization in using transaction SQL, which we will use. And this is intended to be a deep dive into the detail rather than just to provide an overview. There are several other webinars that deals with the connector from an overview perspective. We will also not be able to cover all of the functionality. There is just too much, and we will then follow that up with more sessions at a later stage. You can also look back to this webinar before you actually look at the next webinar. So hopefully we'll be able to provide all of this as basic training and familiarization materials so that it actually really helps you to get started with the connector. Having said all of that, I think it's time to actually get practical and get into it.